There is this couple that came to Dr. Fee for help because they could not manage their sexual instincts. And seeing that they could not manage their sexuality, so they consulted with Dr. Fee. And Dr. Fee sat them down and said to them, do you want to tell me that neither of you thought of a protected sex when you had sex? And they say, yeah, not one of us suggested anything. We were just caught up in the mood, and there was nothing that we could do about it. And Dr. Fee says to them, you know what? That's very foolish for two people to go on to have unprotected sex and not one of them raises the issue. The way that I'm going to use for you two young people is foolishness. That's very foolish of you. And then Dr. Fee says, you mean you never thought of carrying the French letters in your pocket? Directing the question at the young man. And the young man jumped forward and he said, oh, Dr. Fee, what did you just say? French letters? What is that? And Dr. Fee has a big laugh and said, well, that's what we used to call condoms when I was growing up. And he says to Dr. Fee, wow, that's quite academic, Dr. Fee. French letters? That's academic. We are just people on the ground. We don't use such words like French letters. You know, that's very academic. And Dr. Fee says, you really think it's academic? He says, yeah, that is as academic as the word academic is, Dr. Fee. And he says, you know, I had an uncle, and whenever he had taken one too many, he would use these academic words, Dr. Fee, and I used to listen to him carefully using the academic words. We hardly use any academic words, my partner and I. You know, my uncle would talk about alcoholic, and he would talk about exotic, and I would listen very carefully and cram these words. And my uncle, when he was real south, he would talk about arithmetic, you know, such fantastic, yeah, you know, such high academic words. My partner and I don't use such academic words. We just use, you know, normal, on the ground language. We just say it is too good, it is very good, it is nice. The highest we can go in academic word uses, Dr. Fee, is when we say it's cool. You know, when we say it's cool, then we feel like we have used some college language. We ain't been to college. We say it's cool, Dr. Fee. And Dr. Fee at this moment said to them, now you tell me, you remind me, what are your names again? And the guy said, I am Josepha. And herself, Maria. Dr. Fee says, oh, Josepha, Maria. Then Dr. Phil said, that's my aha moment. In fact, my most gargantuan aha moment. I have never had such a aha moment like this. Man, you Josepha, he's Maria. They say, yeah, Dr. Fee, yeah, it is. He says, and what is your trade? What is your trade, young man? He says, I'm a carpenter. I'm a carpenter. And Maria, she's a chambermaid at some hotel out here. Okay, which hotel? The Three Wise Men Hotel, Dr. Fee, the Three Wise Men Hotel. She's working at the Three Wise Men Hotel. That's where I met her, Dr. Fee. That's where I met her. I used to make some furniture for the hotel, and some, educated people would come there and use words like exotic, fantastic, and they would remind me of my uncle, and by the way, it was when we stole a moment in that hotel room with Maria that all this happened now, that she's pregnant, Dr. Fee. But it was also a prophetic thing, because we were sleeping at night, and in the middle of the night the room was dark. Then suddenly there was light in the room, and then came in this spaceship, dropped into the hotel room, and there was a big black king on the spaceship, and he said, "Hello, do you know who I am?" We say, "No." We were terrified. And he said, "I'm the new God of Africa. I come from Nigeria, to be exact. I've come to tell you that you too will bear a child. You'll bear a child, and you will call him Julius. His name will be Julius." And Julius would go back to Africa, and to South Africa to be exact. And when he lands there, he will get there to get all the land back to the people. All the land back to the people. The poorest of the poor will get the land. And I don't want to say who had stolen the land, because Dr. Mandela has said we must not talk about these things. By the way, Dr. Mandela is the one who was supposed to be the God of Africa now, but he declined, he declined. And but we being Nigerians, we don't play with chance, when it avails itself, we grab it, man. So we grabbed it. That's why I'm the God of Nigeria. I've succeeded. Haile Selassie. I've succeeded. I'm on the throne of Haile Selassie. Oh yeah? So Dr. Fee said, you saw all this? This sounds like some deja vu. And the young man jumped to say, "Dr. Fee, that way, deja vu. Oh, deja vu. It makes my heart to beat faster. It makes my blood to run. Deja vu. I'm not hearing it for the first time. When I met Maria and I took her home, my uncle said, 'Wait a minute, you are Josepha and she's Maria.' Oh, that's deja vu." Deja vu. Man, that word, I thought I'll never forget that word. And here you are repeating the word, deja vu. Wow, Dr. Fee, this is something. And then, this fellow that will be born. And Dr. Fee said, "But it looks like you have not come for help. You have come to lecture me." Well, Dr. Fee, we just wanted you to unravel the whole mystery around us. Because though I'm a carpenter, it is said that my son, Julius, will be a preacher. He will be a preacher. He will be a preacher man in Africa, who will free his people in Africa. And they will be free. The birth of our son was also prophesied by one big philosopher in Africa. Yes, the philosopher called Thabo Mbeki, called Thabo Mbeki. Thabo Mbeki is a philosopher, writer, all kinds of wise things, and he prophesied that our son will succeed the present king of South Africa, and he will release his people. Dr. Thabo Mbeki is the only writer that I read. He's a professor and he's an academic, and and that is the only academic stuff that I read. He has recently written a book, and the book's title, Dr. Fee, is Show Me Any Nigger Who Has Caught HIV/AIDS. Show me any nigger who has caught HIV/AIDS. And I will show you, my cousins and their Nazis. My cousins and their Nazis. You know what is a Nazi, Dr. V? N-Y-A-T-S-I. It means, you know, if Arnold Schwarzenegger, groups domestic servant, that's what they call a Nazi in Africa. So he says, show me any nigger who has caught HIV/AIDS, and I will show you my cousins and their Nazis. And this is the book I'm presently reading, very academic, Professor Tabu Mbeki. This book, Dr. Fee, this book that Dr. Tabu Mbeki was writing, he describes it as a mother of all projects that he has ever done, mother of all projects that he has ever done. And this book called Show Me Any Nigger Who Has Caught HIV/AIDS, and I will show you my cousins and their Nazis. You understand me? Are you with me, Dr. Phil? And it is also a known fact that Dr. Tabu Mbeki loves his whiskey. He's the man who sweets good whiskey in the market. But it is said when he was writing this book, he was now helping himself to the designer's liqueur, very expensive designer's liqueur, Dr. Phil. And whenever he was writing, even starting every chapter, he would have a good swig on this liqueur. And it is said that then his mother would appear at the study door and say, "Come on, Tabu, are you at your thing again? Are you drinking this liqueur one more time? This very expensive liqueur, which is worth 10% of your salary. Don't you realize, Tabu, that with the money that you spend to buy this liqueur, you could build one bungalow for the poor? Don't you just catch it, Tabu?" And Dr. Tabu would say to his mother, very calmly, and he would, in a very relaxed fashion, say to his mother, "Mama, the poor will always be with us. This liqueur might not be here tomorrow to help me, to inspire me to write this book, but the poor will always be with us. Mama, I might not be there to take a swig on this liqueur tomorrow, but now that I have the time to write this book, I want you to know, Mama, the poor will always be with us. I might not always be there to write a book like this, but now that I'm writing it, and it's a mother of all projects I've ever done, I just want you to know, Mama, the poor will always be with us."